yet another episode of Podcast and Ride on episode 15, right?
Number 15,
Yes.
that's that. Come about number 15 yet, huh?
I don't know. Ah, man, I'm so happy to be back, dude.
Always. It's always such a pleasure, right?
I always look forward to shooting Podcast and Ride because it's always so exciting. I'm loving the response that we're getting on the comments. Shout out to everyone. I went to recharge on Saturday, right? I get to recharge, Papa. I meet so many riders, bruh.
Really?
I meet so many riders. I even met Hans who watch Podcast and Ride.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, I never used to like cars until I started watching Podcast and Ride. And honestly, for me, and I think that's always been my biggest challenge when it comes to like the motoring industry for where I want it to be. I mean, you meet a lot of car enthusiasts, right? And people who are hardcore, like, yeah, kilowatts, horsepower.
Yeah.
But for me, I've always wanted to have conversations with people who who know nothing about cars. You know what I mean?
Like
and that's
me, so.
You know what I mean? And I've had opportunities to write for publications who are really, really hardcore.
Yeah,
but that's never ever been my vibe. And that's why I've always felt like I don't fit in the motoring space because of the thinking that I have. I want to talk to someone who doesn't know anything about cars, because if you think about it, right, motoring enthusiasts are probably a small percentage of people who actually drive cars.
True.
So I want to talk to those people who are buying a car for the first time. Maybe you don't even have a car at home. It's the first time you're having a car. You know what I mean? And that's about me. So it's been a very tough road in this industry, because I feel like I've never really been taken seriously because I keep things so light and I don't go really, really in depth, especially with my reviews. But I don't want to deal. I don't talk to motoring enthusiasts, man, because they already know, you know what I mean. But I will engage. You know what I mean. I can engage at that level, but I like to keep it simple for the person walking down the street, man.
And it's such a pleasure to be like acquainted with people like you, dude, because you guys know so much about cars.
Yeah.
And then woke up and I able to had to much about horsepower, you know. All you know is just watching Supercar Blonde, it was just like a 700, what.
Exactly.
And you're like, what's that? You know? But until you get to like having conversations, and that's not just about the depth part of it, but you just see that there's so much more to love and learn about the car space as a whole. And there is absolutely nothing wrong, guys. There's nothing wrong with getting to learn and falling in love with cars. And even if you don't want to get to know the conversation, the language rather, you know, the car talk language in a way, eventually, at a certain point, you just find yourself understanding it simply because you are immersing yourself in the environment. It's amazing. It's beautiful. Yeah. This is 15 shows inside.
Yeah. But also, when I was at Recharge this weekend, they gave me such shit service.
I wonder.
Yo, I walked in and I'm not even drunk, ne?
Yeah.
I was sober. I woke up to this Han. She's a waitress. And I can imagine dealing with drunk people is a lot, right?
Yeah.
And you're probably frustrated. So I could see that she's a bit frustrated but I wanted to take my order, you know? And I'm like, I'm excited. I'm like, hey, Johnny. I'm like, agree. And then you know what she does? She does this. And then she walks away. And then I go to another one. And she also does this. And then she walks away. So fuck Recharge. Fuck Recharge. I'm never going back there again.
The anger.
I was annoyed because you know what? That's the thing about it. I understand that you guys were like, it's you know what? You're frustrated. People are drunk. They're frustrating you. But you know, when someone comes to you with a good vibe, at least reciprocate. You know what I mean? I'm annoyed. Fuck Recharge. I'm never going back there again. And I went to one of the DJs there and I went to all the people. I'm like, guys, your service is shit. I'm going to say it on my podcast. And they were like, aye. I'm like, okay, sharp. So fuck Recharge.
Hectic.
That's what I'm going to say. Do better. Do
better.
So, and whenever I meet up...
Moving right along.
That was a lot of anger, but I was pissed, guys. I was heartbroken, you know what I mean? But anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah. And a lot of people keep asking me about certain brands that we don't review on the car on the show. Like, so basically what I do, right? I speak to the headquarters of the different manufacturers, and I'm like, hey, guys, we have a podcast. Give us your cars if you want us to review your cars on the show. And someone asked me about getting Audi. You know what I mean? Like, hey, dude, why don't you review Audis? They're blue ticking me.
Yeah, so Audi, if there's
So
someone that works at Audi, dog, we would like to,
yeah, because
Yeah.
our riders are asking about all these different
Yeah.
cars, and I called Audi, I sent texts, and because VW really, because they're all the same family, right? VW is always helping me out. They always loving me. Audi's like, I don't know.
Eventually, we will.
Yeah, so Audi guys,
It's
everyone
coming.
is requesting for an Audi, but it seems like
It's
Audi's
coming.
not interested.
We are
so
speaking it into existence, guys. Our review and maybe hopefully work with Audi is coming in future.
yeah, hopefully, but I don't know. Knife probably they send me can
Batung. O kwatile jwang kajeno?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Anyway,
guys.
new drops this week.
We'll talk about Audi on the show, but I don't know if I'll take the cars anymore. I keep saying. Yeah, I can give it to Tuli. I'm not gonna review an Audi. I'm honestly not. But anyway, let's get. I'm gonna get into so much trouble for that. But it's fine. I'm not going to review it. They will give it to Tuli. Tuli will review it. I'm not. You blue tick me. You blue tick me. Yeah. You must sometimes you must know what you want in life, guys, and you must not turn around. But anyway. Let's get into the news. There's a lot of news this week. And one thing I'm excited about is that the government is actually thinking of integrating our licenses into our IDs. So now we might not have to carry a license and an ID. It's going to be one thing. You know what I mean? Also because of the backlog of all, the printing machine. We had one printing machine. And they couldn't even fix it. They had to take it overseas to get fixed.
One.
So and there's a backlog.
One.
Yeah. So and they're also considering actually making your
life. I thought that's a lie. First time I heard that, I was like, no, man. Someone on Twitter was trying to drag our government down.
One machine, one printing machine, dude. But funny, they're also considering making our licenses valid for 10 years as opposed to, I think it's 5 now. Ne? Yeah, so they're going to move it to 10 years, so which is great because that means that you only need to change your license probably 3 or 4 times in your life, depending on how long you live. If you boop after changing it twice, guys. Double them up. Just another one, right? We didn't. By the time we're shooting this, we don't know. We don't know about Knox fight, right? Because we're shooting it before the show before.
It's the day before. This is a Friday when we're shooting.
Exactly. So unfortunately, we don't know what the results are. But I know by the time this thing.
No, it's stressing. No, it's stressing. Who do you guys think is gonna win? By the way. Everybody.
Everybody, no.
No, that's a foul answer.
Who's gonna win?
Nag,
ne? Nag. Yeah, so we don't know who won by this, but obviously by the time this drops, we know who won.
Nag will have won.
Nag will have won. But also the fact that they don't want MacG there, they don't want Soul there.
Really? What?
Yeah. Soul is, no, I can Casper's like, nah, dog. Soul said something about him and his family on the podcast, so he can't comment anymore.
Really? Shame, man.
So, yeah, man.
Casper, man.
Casper, come on, dude, because he did such a good job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they said that Saul was saying, or no, they did the first fight with Slick Talk even before all of this. After they even said all the stuff that they were talking about on the podcast. Now Cass is like, no, I don't want Saul there. So I guess little now we are not even gonna be there. So,
no.
But we're still supporting him, so we're there in spirit. But
we understand this is
Casper. This is a bit of a. I'm just gonna say this was a bit of a dick move from Casper. He must just put aside his shit. I mean, did you see Slick Talk when he's like, it's like, my nigga, I'm gonna tell you that there was not a lot of PR around your gig. You need MacG. Why do you throw away MacG when MacG was giving So yeah, he's like, so Slick Talk is right. I mean, like, we were honestly all behind this fight, and we were pushing it. All the riders, all the chillers, we were behind this fight. And now that Casper's pulled this stunt, I'm just like, dog. Fuck you, my nigga. Fuck you. Anyway, let's get back to cars. Let's get back to the cars, man. Yeah.
I saw there was a Hyundai something happening. I saw quite a number of influencers
and it was even
celebrities.
trending. You know what? The thing about it is, yeah. But Hyundai, whenever they launch an N car, dude, they always go out and it always trends, even when they did with the i30N. So they basically launched...
There was quite a number of well-known people that were there.
Yeah.
I think that PR-wise, they did a splendid
job. Hyundai always comes through. And so they basically introduced the Kona N, man. The Hyundai Kona N.
And so it looks hot.
It's hot, dude.
It looks like
so
one series, but also
but it's an SUV.
Yeah, but also like the VW kind of feel in a way, you know.
It looks
I think
really,
it's a
really
very
nice.
sexy design.
And yeah, man. So basically, whenever you see like an N version of a vehicle, that's basically their performance badge, right? So whenever you see that, you'll know that it's quite fast. But I think there was the Tucson N as well. But it wasn't really that fast. But these ones are really, really fast. I mean, like, it shares the same engine as the i30N, and it takes on the likes. It's not a new concept. I mean, we've had the BMW X2 M35i, we have the RSQ3, we have the Mini Countryman John Cooper Works. So, in the recent years, so it's not necessarily a new concept that they're bringing into the market, but it's also very, very exciting. I mean, it comes in a 2-liter turbocharged engine, and yeah, man, I think it has around how many? It has around 206 kilowatts. So it actually, that's actually quite impressive, actually. It really is quite impressive. And yeah, man, it's a really, really nice car. I like it. I'm hoping Hyundai will give it to us just to test. But guess what the price is? 749,000 Rand.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't think it's bad, though.
Not that bad.
It's bad because it's not bad.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, I really think it's a really, really nice car. It's fitting of the price, and it's fast.
And there's quite
exciting.
A lot that comes to it. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was supposed to actually
don't
get
think it's that bad.
the i30N at one point, and that's when after they recently launched it, and now I contact the guys and I'm like, hey, where's my i30N? They're like, no, someone screwed it up, the windscreen, and now we have to order the windscreen from overseas because the car's still new. Hey. So I never got to drive the i30N, but I'm hoping that I will get to drive it at one point. But moving on to Bucky's. I love Bucky's, dude. I'm a Bucky's boy. And it's in the new Isuzu D-Max has come through with its pricing. It's actually very, very cool. I like the design. And
the design is nice.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's built locally. And it also shares underpinnings of the Mazda BT50. Okay. So basically, it's they're basically the same car. You know what I mean? And which is cool because the BT50, I think, is the second fastest bikey right now. Yeah, so it's doing very, very well. And what's cool about the new D-Max is that it comes with, I think it's what is it? 3-liter turbo diesel engine. Yeah, which is quite cool. It's churning out 140 kilowatts, but you can also get a 1.9-liter turbocharged turbo diesel with 110 kilowatts as well. Nice. But here's the deal. In terms of the pricing as well, it starts with at around 401,000 Rand. And then there's a top of the range D-Max 3-liter double cab V-Cross 4x4, which is 814,000 Rand. Now, you're wondering to yourself, people will be like, Isuzu 800,000.
You are almost at $1 million, dog.
Yeah.
You are literally knocking at $1 million there.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's the thing. Cars have become really, really expensive.
But also, the spec is quite insane.
Yeah, the spec is quite good. It looks quite nice. I love the design. And, the thing about Isuzu is that even your grandchildren will drive that buggy one day. That's how amazing those... And the thing is that they're changing their strategy a bit. Yes, they've always been known as these buggies that you always find in the farms. But they're changing their strategy. They're becoming a little bit more lifestyle, a little bit more luxurious in terms of their brand positioning. So they're really, really coming through. I love the MUX as well. The MUX looks beautiful. So if you're a Isuzu fan, man, go and check it out. It really, really looks nice.
There's some great stuff on the market.
There's some great stuff on the market. But F1!
Formula One.
Din, din, din. Din, din, din. It's very, very interesting, right?
Last week, Tulu almost threw me off the chair. I don't know how true this is.
Yeah.
I mean, Formula One takes a while before they confirm some of their stuff.
Yeah.
We found out on an article that Lewis Hamilton might be moving to Red Bull. So it says that Red Bull is buying Lewis Hamilton.
Rumor.
So it's a rumor. It's a rumor. Don't come for me. It's a rumor. We're not sure because they themselves have not confirmed if this is true or not. I personally don't know how I feel about that, but also looking at how Red Bull is pulling the family, the engineering team, the fact that Red Bull kind of pulled out a couple of engineers from the Mercedes team to their own, I think it might be a small move if he just wants that record and then just like retire. Yeah, because I think it's just looking really tricky for Mercedes this season. To be honest, I think it's gonna take a little bit more time for them to, get their power to where it need be. I saw some article also mentioning that Marco's part of the team here at Red Bull. He was saying that chances are it has to do with something with their petrol systems and whatnot. He's not sure as well because, of course, as Red Bull, you won't know much about the Mercedes, what's happening on the inside. So Mercedes has a lot to do, a lot to pull.
I think,
so
honestly, if Hamilton and Verstappen are on the same team, dog.
You bringing back, there was Nico Rosberg.
Yeah.
Nico Rosberg, he used to drive for Petronas as well. Nico and Lewis would be Max and Lewis.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yeah.
I promise you. And if you want to know more about the history of Formula One and see where Max is kind of at, personally, I think Max has a lot of Michael Schumacher.
Yeah.
I watched his documentary and having seen Michael back in the day as well, in a bit of that, you can see that he's that much into his game. He's very arrogant when it comes to competition. He's very fixed on it. So it would be a very interesting thing to see, actually.
Dude.
Because Lewis Manulana is a softy. Vulture is very soft. George is very soft, And I was hoping that maybe they'd throw Ricardo with... So that would have been extremely soft and very fun, They wouldn't have worked that much, but...
So it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be crazy. It's race weekend this weekend. It's Australian Grand Prix, so there's a lot. Weekend. Well, this past weekend, my bad. My bad.
Yeah. So another one is that it seems like VW is to approve F1 deals for McLaren and Red Bull. So
they're buying in.
Yeah, they're buying in, and it seems like they're reported they're going to be spending around 650 million euros in a deal. And while Porsche is also expected to sign up as Red Bull's works engineer partner. Yeah, so we'll have to see, but they're also hinting on some of their cars also joining the grid. I could be wrong, but no, I think so. So yeah, it seems like it's going to be very, very interesting.
There's a lot that's happening in the Formula One space. There's a lot of things that are being introduced. I feel like also, they're going to Vegas this season. There's a lot of...
Yeah, Vegas is going to be fun. And night race.
Miami as well.
Yes.
So
and South Africa next year.
South Africa next year.
That's going to be
Kyalami,
yeah.
So there's a lot of excitement that's growing inside of Formula One. Personally, I feel like the Formula One, to 2009, early 2012, 2011. That was the raw Formula One back in the day. That was raw. I mean, now we don't even get to hear radio from the commentators. I mean, from the teams, conversations anymore after what happened last season. So I don't know, man. Some of the things are really underwhelming for me. It's taking away from what we know Formula One to be.
That raw vibe,
and it's kind of growing into more like an aesthetic kind of thing, fashion. And I don't know. I just hope they don't lose it. I hope they don't lose that thing of this thing is racing and let's keep to that. Let's race. So
yeah, man.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. That's it for the news.
Yeah, that's it for the news.
So.
Yeah, but we've got something really dope.
Yeah?
We've got something really dope. We went somewhere really nice this past Sunday. We went to Luxurious Wraps brunch.
Yeah.
Bubbles. So it's called Luxurious Bubbles or
Kilibitso,
with Paul Malek, and that was so fun.
You know the thing about that event, you know that Ki is the elite. The black elite. It's all the expensive cars. It's going to be expensive champagne. And it's going to,
expensive vibes.
You know the people that are chased by SARS. They're all going to be there.
So if you want to see them, check this out.
Family, one big family, just come have fun. Our first event where we open up to the public and the clients. Let's have a good time. Cheers.
What's up?
How cool was Paul's thing?
Great. It was so fun. Super fun.
You know, Paul always brings it with the luxury guys.
Luxury. So, everything that you get, everything that comes with Paul, guys, is always luxurious. But of course, we don't only know Paul that's dealing with great things. You know, the other day I was just browsing through. I do like a lot of car content learning for me on my Instagram. So the other day I was on my Instagram and I was searching and I came across the 357.
Yes.
And I was like, darn it! We need to get these people on our lockdown.
Dude.
Welcome. Welcome.
How's it?
Please introduce yourself. Let us know more about your space and
Okay, so I'm Sanjay from the 357. I'm one of the owners. My place is based just up the road from here, funny enough, in 12th Avenue, Edinburgh. And what we do is anything on cars. So from simple light bulb changes to engine rebuilds and repairs, services. We build our own exhausts in-house. And we also do wrapping, tinting, paint protection film. So anything you need for your car. If we can't do it, we surely know someone who can do it. And we do have a lot of relationships with people. So we actually have a one-stop shop. So if you need anything on your car, you can drop it off there and we'll make sure that it gets done for you.
But the name 357, how did you guys come up with that? That's very, very interesting.
It's actually a funny story. We got the business going, and we needed to open the bank accounts and register the business. Yeah. And we couldn't think of the name. Yeah. So the other partners and I just decided that we'll choose our favorite numbers. And that's it. However, in saying so, there are people who believe in numerology, etc. Yeah. And someone once mentioned that 3 plus 5 plus 7 is 15, and 1 plus 6, 1 plus 5 is 6. Yeah. And 6 in numerology has something to do with family and togetherness. I'm not too sure, but that's what I heard. So that's the kind of vibe we have there. When you're there, you'll actually experience it. People come there, not just to do their cars. We have a nice coffee shop. We have a proper barber in there. So there's a lot going on there. It's actually a lifestyle. A lot of thought was put into it from my side because I'm someone who doesn't have time. And back in the day when I used to want to wash the car, I would take the car whilst it's getting washed, have my hair cut, etc. So I sort of incorporated that into our business. So you can leave your car for a wash, have a coffee, have a haircut. Or service the car, have a coffee, whatever. But when you guys come through to visit, I'll show you how everything works.
That's amazing. That's amazing. But what kind of cars do you guys do? What are some of the ranges of cars that you do?
So my customers are predominantly BMW customers. It's because of my background. I come from BMW. I worked at the old Santon Auto for about 11 years. So I have a big client base of BMW customers. However, I do work on VWs, Audis, Mercedes. I don't limit it to that because generally the owners of those cars do have second cars by other brands. So they want me to work on the cars. However, if I don't specialize or it's a specialist requirement, then I recommend them to take it to someone who is a specialist. But general repairs and services, we're quite comfortable with doing them.
That is good.
And I mean, in the space that you guys are in, you probably know, you have a good relationship because there's a couple of, there's also Tariq's Garage. Kind of what's Tariq's Garage's name? We always Chicanos, Chicanos,
Yes.
Chicanos as well, and they're doing something similar as well. So it's always great to hear that there's just an environment, or rather a world that if you can't specialize in this, there's someone else that can actually also come through for you.
Yes. So in this game, I try and maintain relationships with everyone. Even though they might be my competition, there's always a relationship between us. And very often I use the specialities of a different shop that I can't do in my shop, and they do the same with me. So it's also different when I send the car to the guy. So he knows it's coming from me. He's going to do his best to make sure the car is done the way we want it done, up to our quality, our standards, before we hand back to the customer.
The competition is quite intense, I'm guessing,
no,
right?
It is very intense. It is a very, very... as big as it is, it's also a very small market. And everybody wants to do the similar thing. So competition is good because it breeds success. It helps you to develop stuff better. So you don't see it in a bad way.
You have a huge background, like you were saying. You used to work for BMW. And a lot of people, whenever you talk about maybe then tuning your car or doing something different that is outside of the standard spec of what the vehicle is, they're always like, hey, what about warranty? Yeah. So, so what can people do in terms of how do you navigate around people being afraid to lose their warranty and all that?
So at the outset, I'm very honest with customers because the truth be told is any form of alterations you do on your car can compromise your model plan or warranty. So I'm very upfront with the customers and tell them, listen, if I do this, it can affect the warranty. There are certain things that don't exactly affect it. However, if it does affect it, then the choice is on the client of whether he wants to proceed with it. And most of them, or maybe I'm fortunate in that most of them actually don't care about the warranty.
Because they're bowling.
Yes. Yeah. And if you're heading in that space,
You can't be
worried about that. And also, you can't accept or expect someone to accept the modifications you do and warranty at their cost. It's actually not fair. So I understand that. But like I said, most clients are quite comfortable with not having a warranty on the car. And I then take over the maintenance of the vehicle in my shop. So I have fully qualified technicians, etc., working on the car. So it's not just some random person stripping and trying to put an M3 or M4 engine together. It's guys who've worked and trained on the product, and they're very, very comfortable with building engines.
So you guys are making good money.
We're trying.
What's your favorite car that you've worked on?
You know
Top
what
three.
happens?
Give us
I
top
must
three,
be honest,
actually.
guys. You know what happens is, like, I work on this one and I say, shit, I love this car. Then I work on the other one, and when I drive it, so each of them
Gets
speak
better.
to me differently. But I think for me, the previous generation M3 would be as an all-round package, with good handling.
And it's so underrated, right?
It's so underrated. I do have a very strong one in the shop, or a few strong ones, but one specific one. And when you guys come through, I'll let you experience it.
Sheesh, I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be crazy.
Oh, nice
That's
one.
going to be a nice one.
I
Yeah.
still want to find out though.
What's your favorite build?
I've done a few. I've done a few
Recently, let's say like a recent build.
The M3 always comes up on the top. I've done very strong Supras.
Nice.
So it's
nice.
also a big market of mine.
Yes.
And I work together very closely with another tuner from Exceed Performance. He's very, very good with tuning the cars. So I basically do all the hardware, all the installations, from building the engine to nitrous injection to port injection, etc. And then he just tunes the cars. And he's got pretty good results. So the Supras are also a good market. I've done a few Audis, a few Golfs, although they're not my biggest market. And also a very underrated car, I think, is the new G Series 340 X-Drive. So we also have one of those that you can experience. So also a very nice build, because it's a proper street car. I've been racing with the car, going to the meets, etc. And it's very underrated because it has nice wheels, and then you don't expect it to be as fast as it is. But it actually, it's a 10-second street car.
I think this is very, very important, because a few tips, man, for people who are thinking of tuning their cars or doing something extra, make their car stand out. What are some of the tips that you can give them?
So what I always ask the customers is, what's your intention with the vehicle? Because you have some people who want to race the car flat out. So they want to go, for lack of better words, balls to the wall. And then you get customers who just want their cars to be a little extra over a standard one. So if they catch a race at the robot or whatever, then they have a little edge over the other person. So it's very important to first understand, what is it that you want out of the car? What's your desired outcome with the vehicle? And once you understand that, you can work around it. Then you don't sell customers things that are not necessary. Because very often people say, put this and put that, but that's not what the guy actually wants. So if you understand what he wants, then yes, you can customize the package around his needs. And that's what I try and do. I don't want to sell you what you don't want, or what you won't use for that matter. Because a lot of times when we do tune the cars, they require you to put ethanol, and they require you to put octane boosters. And some people don't want to do that. So once you understand what you need to do, I think you can give your customer what they want. But for me personally, I'm someone who likes subtle changes on cars. I don't like the in-your-face stuff. So if you look at the car, you must see it's different, but you need to think about what's different. It's not in your face, it's got a big wing or whatever. So that's the kind of vibe I like. That's just my personal preference. But each to his own. I mean, I have customers that come in there that want crazy wraps. I've done chrome orange wraps, chrome gold wraps. And whilst it may not
Can
appeal...
you imagine that thing on the road when it's sunny?
Yeah.
Yo.
So,
and then you just see the bright light, and you're like, wait, am I dying?
Literally just zooming past you. It's gone.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
So again, it's you try and do what the customer wants. So if he wants it, you give it to him to the best of your ability. And whilst I might not do it, I mean, it appeals to them. A lot of them use it. I mean, the chrome orange Mercedes that I did, the client, his business was orange. So he would even come into my dealership wearing orange glasses, you know. So he was very, very big on orange.
Dope.
And then I've done stuff for like traders, and they want the car in gold. It's their way of making a statement.
Nice.
So yeah, so I think it's important just to understand what your customers want, you know, or what their needs are.
And you just mentioned that you guys have meets and so forth, and you talk a lot about racing. Do you guys do your own like drags and so forth?
Yes, it's a very big part of our business.
Nice.
Drag racing, more on the street car setup. So we haven't exactly built specific drag cars. Most of our cars, if not all actually, I tend to drive them to the drags, race them and drive them back. So it also shows reliability in what we're doing, you know. It's easy to build a car that's a trailer car. You can trailer it to the racing and, you know, race it and put it back on the trailer. But we in the position where we can actually drive the cars to the drags and drive it back. I think the only time that I haven't driven the car or cars to any venue is when I went to Cape Town because of the distance.
Oh, yeah.
So it's easier and cheaper for me to put the cars on a truck and I fetch in Cape Town. I drive, for example, to Saldanha Bay. I race the car at Saldanha Bay. I drive it back to Cape Town, use it the entire weekend, and just before we fly, drop off the car at the depot and fly back.
That must be so fun.
So,
Your life is fun.
I'm thinking about it now. I'm like,
No, it is.
If I was to do that every week, listen, man, you won't even see me anywhere.
It'll be live, dude. So
Literally.
if maybe anyone wants to contact you on social media, where can they get you?
So we're quite big on Instagram. So Instagram is always the best way to get in touch. I am a bit on TikTok. I'm still learning it a bit. Yeah.
Do the dances.
No.
How do they do that?
You know,
I don't know.
that's all I see on TikTok is people dancing. And I'm here posting car stuff. And then I see one video gets like 100 views. And then I have one that actually has 1.1 million views. So I think, how does this thing work? You know, it just works very differently.
You just have to keep providing them content. They'll come through.
That's what we do. So Instagram, or you can pop past the shop. We're very open. We like having people there, you know. I always tell everyone that works with us that we're actually into hospitality. So we want you to come there, relax. A lot of customers just come there, have a meeting, have a coffee, and they leave. And we're okay with that, you know. So it's a safe space for people to come.
And you guys are very responsive. I mean, I hit them up, and within like a couple of hours, I got a response. So
Yes.
100% reliable and responsive. I can guarantee you that.
So
Definitely.
we actually went to the shop and to go check it out. So guys, check it out.
Let's
check
check
it out.
this out. What's up, what's good? Welcome back to Podcast and Ride. It's a nice, chilly, a little bit of a rainy morning.
Yeah.
We're out here in Rivonia at the 357.
Yeah, I'm
How
actually very
crazy.
excited about it. You know what I mean? I have a feeling because the weather is a bit chilly, we're about to warm things up inside there. I've seen a lot of cars that I like, and I can't wait for you guys to go inside. So, Ari, should we go?
Let's go check it out. How crazy is this spot?
Dude, I think before I even went anywhere next to the cars, my eyes totally went to that gaming corner right there. So you can literally come in and play some games, which is quite cool. I think after we shoot here, I know what I'm gonna do.
I know what I'm gonna do. There's quite a couple of other spots. Before we go to the workshop at the back, there's there's a coffee corner, there's a barber shop, there's a tech and vape center corner. There's quite a number of things for us to like check out. So let's go and check all of that out.
And let's not forget amazing cars. I mean, on the side here we have a nice Range Rover Sport. We have a beautiful M3 sitting here. So we are going to spot a lot of amazing cars. So that's what I'm excited about because it's all about podcast and ride. Let's go see.
Let's go check it out. So this is the interesting part of it all, really. We're standing right in the middle of the 357 on the inside. Literally right behind me here is the vape and the tech corner. And then they have a stellar boutique, dude. Like where you can fix your phone.
Right.
There's an aesthetic center here where you can do your nails, get a facial.
Right.
Can you hear that sound? There's a barber shop, there's a coffee shop, there's literally everything that you can imagine of, and you can actually get here.
Yeah, it's very, very exciting. But I think we need to get into where the meat is. And that's the car. So let's go to the
workshop.
Yeah.
Like guys,
It's like I see M4s in the background. There's a Supra there.
So now
there's Rangers.
There's like a nice Porsche
GTS, bro.
GTS up there. There's a crazy M3 here. There's the two Supras. I was told that both of them, combining both of them, is like over 2,000 horsepower.
Yeah.
Crazy, right? Insane. So we're gonna walk through. We're gonna get someone that's gonna tell us more about the space and what's happening in here. The technicalities. The technicalities. Let's find someone that can tell us the technicalities. Let's go.
Let's go.
He was gonna walk us through the workshop. We've got a crazy spot here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right?
Like you don't know what, like your eyes keep going. Super.
Dude.
M4. Wait. So I'm very excited. How exciting is it to work in this environment?
No, so it's not actually work, it's passion. So I don't feel like I'm working at all. We have fun and you can see the vibe with my guys here. Everyone's happy, everyone's working. So let me take you on a tour and show you what we're doing.
Sure.
And we do everything from mechanical work to electrical to diagnosis to performance upgrades. So I'll show you a few of the cars that we are busy with. And I'll tell you what we're doing on each of them.
Yeah, let's start. Let's start with the
Yes, we can go through to the Supras.
I see you have two of them.
Yes. So both these cars, they make around 1,000 horsepower each.
Okay.
This one is in for some upgrades. So if you want to get the guys to come through and have a look.
Check this out. Yeah.
So here the car's got aftermarket big turbocharger, it's got a built engine, etc. But we're doing some upgrades. We're changing the fueling system. So we're fitting a different controller for the port injection. So if you look, it has the normal injectors and then it's got an extra set of injectors because you need to be able to fuel this car because of the turbocharger that it has on.
How much does it go up?
Look, it should go, it makes it more consistent. So it'll take it up maybe just a little over 1,000 horsepower. And that's 1,000 horsepower at the rear wheels. So it's a lot more at the engine or at the crank.
I mean, I know this car comes with a BMW engine, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so is it still the same one or?
No, it's exactly the same engine. It's called the B58 engine. So it comes on like the 340i's, 240i's, etc.
Okay.
But this is called the B58 TU, meaning it's a technical upgrade from BMW.
Yeah, okay.
So, same engine. We've just changed a lot of parts in it.
I saw this earlier on in the week when you came through to the studio, and I think, I was mind blown. I was mind blown by this baby. Also, I love how it looks so neat. there's not like 10 billion things that you can see and say, what's that? But this is just so neat, man.
You also put in the turbo.
So very similar turbocharger, except this one is slightly bigger. So the turbo comes in a lot later, but a lot harder versus that one. But both cars run nitrous oxide. Both cars have built gearboxes, built engines. So we're expecting very, very good quarter-mile times with these cars. We're hoping to get them into the 8-second quarter-mile bracket. That's where we want to be. And I think it's very achievable. Obviously, there's a lot of testing and tuning still to be done. But the package is together, so it's just the finer tuning on the track that will change it.
The cost. How much is an upgrade like this? How much will the upgrade like this cost?
There's a fair amount of money in it because of all the parts that you've got to do. Thankfully, this belongs to my friend from Exceed Performance. So he's responsible for actually tuning the car. So he does the physical tuning. I do all the mechanical stuff. And so he brings in parts. So obviously his cost will be much lower than other people's costs. But yeah, there is a fair amount of money. So I'm not going to say it's cheap.
Can you imagine?
But if you equate it to what you get out of it, I think it's very, very worth it.
It's crazy.
I mean, it'll be faster than Bugatti, faster than McLaren, etc. So
you've got some crazy work going on there by the GTAs. Can we go check that out?
Yes, sure. So we're building some exhaust parts, some exhaust. So I'll let you have a look at the welding and the way we do stuff.
Okay.
So these are, this is a set of M3, M4 downpipes.
Nice.
The S55, and you can take a look at the welding, the quality of the welding, etc.
Like for someone who doesn't even know what, like, because we get a lot of riders who are still new into this whole car thing. When you talk about downpipe, what does that mean?
So what the downpipe is, it replaces the catalytic converter on the car. The catalytic converter has quite a bit of restriction. It's got platinum in the pipe, and it almost looks like quite a big mesh, like a filter. So the air doesn't flow as fast as it would through these. So there's no restriction in these. So what it does is it helps the turbo to spool a little quicker. And because everything is free flowing, it actually expands the life of the turbo. So the turbo is not struggling to work. It works much easily. So that's...
Does it make the sound better?
Yeah, because the catalytic converter actually dampens the sound significantly. So it muffles the sound significantly. But it also muffles like oil, smoke, etc. that goes through it. So it filters it. So it's actually basically for the environment and for cleaner burning air. So when you put the downpipes on, there's no restriction, there's no muffling. So the sound is enhanced significantly with it. That's why you can hear when a car has a downpipe. You can hear it does sound different. It's much more throaty. It's louder.
And with this beautiful Carrera,
the customer complained about a noise at the back, so we found a few covers that were loose. We just secured them for him.
Oh, okay.
But
has he done any other work?
This one's got a downpipe on it.
Oh, nice.
So it does sound quite crazy. Porsches always sound good.
Porsches always sound clean.
You know what I mean? It's another level. My goodness. So I see here you're doing more mechanical work because I see you've opened up the hood as well.
Yes, so I do a lot of mechanical work in-house. Anything from normal services to repairs to clutches. I do engine rebuilds, standard as well as for modifications, meaning that some customers want to replace the parts with stronger parts. So we call them forged pistons and forged con rods. So they can take a lot more boost without braking. So I do that. I do diagnostic repairs or diagnosis on cars, on troubleshooting. So there's quite a lot that goes on in the workshop itself.
Insane. This is insane,
so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I mean, what I love about your store is that you have such an open door policy.
Right.
You just come through. You don't feel like you don't know what's going on with your car. You know what I mean? I love that. You're so open about the things that you talk
And
about.
we want to have it like that because we have nothing to hide from our clients. So at any time, if anyone wants to come through and have a look at what's going on with their car and what we're doing, they're more than welcome to. You know, we want to be transparent. We want to show them. We also like to engage with the customers, where we want them to feel a part of the build, etc. You know, we want them to be excited. We're excited. Yeah, it's an experience.
And also, but you know, you deal with a lot of high-end cars, but I see there's a Picanto there.
We don't discriminate. But yes, sometimes we have customers that have the high-end cars, but they do have the smaller cars for their people that work for them or for their kids or whatever. So that car belongs to one of our guys that works here. It was in a bad condition, so we just, with some spare wrap that we had, we wrapped the car and just freshened it up a bit. We've given it the name Blueberry. It's like a blueberry.
Very super cute. super cute. I like also the wheels, man.
Yes.
Wheels
This
look
car
harsh.
got like close to 700,000 kilometers.
Crazy.
So we refreshed the engine and we just gave it just to freshen it up. You know, so it looks a bit more appealing than what it was.
And cleaner.
Right?
Yes, that's amazing.
Giving it a proper clean on the
And you
inside.
put the on the top there,
Yeah,
the gloss.
we've put a gloss black.
Now it looks like it has a sunroof. Right? That's amazing. That's
Crazy.
amazing. I love the fact that you do variety of vehicles. You don't say that this is car. We only do high end. I love that. I love that.
No.
So anyone can bring their car.
Anyone can bring it. So
Literally.
if it's something that requires a specialist repair,
Yeah.
and I'm also very straight and honest. And if it's not for me, I'll tell you, listen, I can't do this job
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
You know, I don't like to take on things that I can't handle because I don't want to disappoint the customers. But if it's straightforward stuff and I can handle it, let me say I'll do it. If not, I'll find someone who can assist you. You know, someone that I trust in the game or with a specific manufacturer, and I'll refer you to them. You know. So,
Man, this has been great. Thank you so much
Oh,
for having
dude.
us. We're looking forward to seeing a whole lot more stuff that we can do with you guys in the long run.
Right.
Obviously.
And of
you
course,
know.
all the riders are welcome to come through. Pull up
Yeah,
to 357. You know
There's
what?
a
They're
car wash.
friendly.
Even if you're not gonna do much, you just wanna wash your car. Come through.
And when
check it
where
out.
are you guys situated again?
So we're based in 112th Avenue, and the area is actually called Edinburgh, but it's Rivonia.
It's in Rivonia.
Yeah. So cool.
So yeah, you can pull up, you can have a coffee, you can just come and browse around. We're quite open. We like having people in the shop. Like I said, we're into hospitality, so we're more than happy to have people there.
Riders, we don't even have to say anything else. You already can see it
Yeah.
yourself, man. This
We
has
love
been an
it.
experience.
It's a 10 out of 10 for me.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10,
Thank you.
definitely.
100%.
Shout out, man.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks. Fuck, how is this a job, bro? How is this? Yeah, man. How cool is
I feel like
357?
we're so lucky. I feel like we get to experience all these really dope things. And I'm really glad that you guys get to experience these things with us.
Yeah.
In future, we will be doing like a lot of things where you guys can actually come when we experience these things, you know. Because man, the 357.
Oh, bruh, they bring it, bro.
Yes,
And we're gonna
see,
still be doing
man.
more content on the other shows as
Yeah.
well. With them, we're gonna.
There's a lot in the pipeline with
so
the
we're
357
very,
that
very
we're gonna be
excited about
doing,
that.
yeah.
Oh, I even forgot there was a quick correction from last week. You remember I was talking about the G20 and the G30,
Mm-hmm.
and I was so confused. Like I don't remember. It's actually the 3 Series is a G20, not a
Okay.
G30.
Yeah.
The G30 is a 5 Series. That's the correction that I need to make. Look,
T-Bex.
T-Bex, dude. Like, but also that's the thing. A lot of like motoring, we all have like something that confuses us with car.
Yeah.
I know I have a very close motoring friend of mine Who can't tell the difference between the Porsche? Like, which one is this? Is this a 911 Turbo S? What is this one? Is this a Porsche Cayman? What is this? He can't tell the difference. So we all have that one thing. Mina, it's all the G8s and the W2. Oh, what? You know what I mean?
Like it's on a go for like horsepower. This is a 911. What horsepower? Wait,
What?
700.
Yeah. So,
Angelique 2 liter, 2 point what? For me, it's a 911 dog.
Yeah.
It's got nice power.
Yeah.
And that's all I need to
That's
know.
all you need
The
to know.
rest, let's enjoy the vibes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's very, very difficult to remember all of these. I mean, sometimes I struggle to tell the difference between a Ferrari, bro. Like, I'm just like, I look at it, I'm like, wait, is this a Portofino? What is this? Is it, it will dizify you. You actually need to sit and be able to tell the difference.
From the back, and then you'll say,
this is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that will always confuse us, but it's chill though. You know, that's the beauty about the game, is that you will never fully know everything, and you keep learning, and it's an experience. You know.
Yeah.
Do I need to fix my mic?
Speaking of experience,
Is it fine?
Speaking of experience, we're experiencing some really nice time here in studio. We're at Red
Cherry.
Red pepper. Wow, free advertising.
Nope. Not the pepper. The cherry.
We had Red Cherry right here in Rivonia. If you need anything podcast, anything studio, there's literally beautiful green screen spaces here. So if you need anything in regards to studio and podcast space, make sure that you hit them up, check them out, come through, bring us coffee. Also, we'll let you know when we shoot so that you can bring us coffee. I don't drink coffee. And Jay doesn't drink coffee. I drink coffee. And Heineken. Actually, our crew yona ya nwa. So, long ka tlama zolo fela o seng wait isa setting dipache KON. Literally.
Dude.
It's a dia too, but say.
Dude, like
literally.
If they want to hotbox a car, they must just all sit inside and fart, bro. They will literally hotbox the car, bro. That's how much of the Pache is running in their system. But anyway, the next episode we're gonna be talking financing and second-hand cars. So if you really want to find out about financing your vehicle and all those nitty-gritties about what you need to do, make sure that you do that. And man.
Just stay tuned, man. Just keep your eye right here on Podcast and Ride. There's so many things that are exciting that are coming up. I'm excited.
I'm very, very
excited to see our growth. This is the 15th episode, 50 more episodes for us to go and just have more fun. 15,000 actually.
Yeah.
By the way. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. It's been amazing.
What are you doing after this?
Bye.
Julie.